Hey friends, this is Mark. Thank you for taking a moment to join me on this video. So we're actually going to talk about two releases. I was actually able to get these at an amazing price. They were brand new, unplayed, and they were available. So I picked them both up. The first one is Elvis, the Alternate Today album. Well, it's a 10-inch release. Really cool cover on the back. You can see make sure you can see that. There's always that wonderful glare, but those are hopefully you can see the songs. And I have to say, they sound really, really good. Actually, this is the song Trouble, Troubla. Never get this to work when I want to. Just give you a little bit. So this is on side one. This is the undubbed master, take 4. So sounds really good. Yeah, so I just got these last week. They both arrived on the same day. I first listened to the second one I want to show you, which is the Alternate Moody Blue. Really cool picture. That picture, of course, was taken during his 1972 tour. I think that was taken in November of 72, if I'm not mistaken, in Honolulu. At least one of the times you wore it. And a really cool picture of him also in 1972, wearing that puffy dress shirt with his Gold Award belt. You can see this again. Hopefully there's no glare. Those are the songs on either side. Yeah, these are becoming increasingly harder to find. Like I said, I had the opportunity to pick them both up at a really ridiculously low price, so I jumped on them and got them. So just to tell you, and actually I'll show you the vinyl. I have the one on the turntable. That's today, the Alternate Today. This is the Alternate Moody Blue. So you said it's a 10-inch. There's the flip side. So I just got finished listening to this one, and they both, like I said, they both sound really, really good. So about the releases themselves, I have to print out notes because I cannot remember this off the top of my head. Turn this down just a little bit. So today was Elvis's 22nd studio album. It was released on May 7th of 1975. Trouble was the first single, which you just heard. It did went top 40 in the US. Bringing It Back was the second single. That one didn't list a charting spot, so I'm assuming it did not chart. And then the last song, the third single, was The Green, Green Grass of Home. That actually did go top 30. It was recorded on March 10th through the 12th in 1975 at RCA Studio C in Hollywood, California. And a little bit of a sad thing, this would be the last time that Elvis would ever record in his studio, because he had become a little reclusive towards the end of his life, as many of you know. So they set up like a mobile recording studio in what is now referred to as the Jungle Room at Graceland. Therefore, you have the different releases way down in the Jungle Room sessions on FTD and so forth. One cool note that I did not know about this, many of you know Millie Kirkham was one of his female backing vocalists. She's that famous voice you hear on Blue Christmas, and she was with Elvis all the way up until, I believe, 1971. She originally was on tour with him when he returned to stage in July of 1969. She played with him through those dates, through 1970, and then in fact you could actually see her on the That's the Way It Is film, and she left, I think, because to focus more time on her family. So yeah, she had left, and then apparently for these sessions she's actually in the backing vocals of this recording. So I thought that was kind of cool. So she made her triumphant return, so to speak. And then Moody Blue, which, as we all know, was Elvis's final album. It was his 24th album. It was released, sadly, less than a month before he passed. It was released on July 19th, 1977. And, one thing that happened, and when you think about it logically, it's no wonder, but after he passed, sales of his records absolutely skyrocketed. So this album released on July 19th, and less than 2 months later, on September 12th of 1977, it was certified gold. So that's pretty impressive. Really any Elvis record was gold, but that one, that's impressive. Moody Blue actually was the first single released off the record. It was actually released quite a bit before the actual album came out. That was released on November 29th, 1976. And then one of my personal favorites, and I actually had the 45 at the time it came out, was Way Down, one of my favorite Elvis songs. That was released on June 6th of 1977. Got that little pop-up. I hate that little pop-up message during my videos. Now, Moody Blue actually reached #1 on the Billboard Country Singles Chart, which I did not know that, and went to number 31 on the pop chart. Way Down, again, it didn't do as well upon its release, but right after Elvis passed away, it jumped to number 18 in the US, and it jumped to #1 in the UK. So another interesting factoid there. And then after Elvis had passed, Unchained Melody, which he did that, some of you have probably seen him at the piano, and I don't know, it was Charlie Hodge holding the microphone for him, and Elvis singing Unchained Melody. That was released later. That actually went to number 6 on the country music charts. Now, the story goes, and again, I always find out something new about Elvis all the time, and this is something that I did not know. So, of course, this album was featured as recordings in February and July of 1976, which were recorded in the Jungle Room. Because there wasn't enough songs recorded studio-wise, Felton Jarvis, who was Elvis's producer, had to kind of fill it in with a few live tracks. So you had a couple live songs from an Ann Arbor, Michigan concert performances on April 24th and 26th of 1977. And apparently they were heavily overdubbed to sound good for the album. Now, another thing I didn't know. So Felton Jarvis had actually booked a recording studio in Nashville, Tennessee, which is kind of when Elvis wouldn't go in the studio. And from what I'm reading and finding out is if Elvis didn't feel comfortable or wasn't happy with the songs he was recording, and this was apparently more common back in the mid-'60s when he was recording his soundtrack albums. If Elvis didn't like the songs, he would frequently, say he wasn't feeling well, he wasn't going to make it that day. So Felton Jarvis booked this studio in Nashville for January. He was scheduled Elvis to go in to record some new material in January of 1977. And Elvis had actually picked a few songs to record. Felton Jarvis helped him, come up with some songs, and there were supposedly some country and some really up-tempo songs. But as the story goes, Elvis never showed up because he said he wasn't feeling well, so that never transpired. So because Felton Jarvis couldn't get Elvis in the studio, he put in some filler songs, which was those live recordings, including, I want to say, is it Let Me Be There? It was one song that was recorded from Elvis on stage in Memphis, which was the March 1974 concert that he did at the Mid-South Coliseum, which was released in 1974. So that one of those songs was also put on that album. And this next part I kind of knew. To match the title track of Moody Blue, the album was originally released on blue vinyl. Now, at this time, that was unheard of. They didn't release vinyl on colored vinyl or any type of swirl or anything like that. It was always black vinyl. So this was a very unique thing to do. and it was very uncommon. So I guess the concept or the idea was collectors mistakenly assumed that these blue vinyl copies were collector's items. But here's the thing, and I did know this. Right before Elvis passed, they reverted back to black vinyl. So it was probably done almost immediately after they pressed so many of the blue, and then they went back to the black vinyl. But then immediately following Elvis's passing, they reverted back to the blue vinyl. So evidently the black vinyl is the more collectible and more desirable and more expensive one if you can find it. And I have heard that. There's another channel that I watch, and the gentleman had brought that topic up, that the black vinyl, if you can get it, it's very hard to find, it's a little pricey, and the blue vinyl is the very, very common one. So yeah, so that's about it. I did want to just come on and make this video quickly. It's been a little bit, so I appreciate all you that have subscribed. If you like this content, please like and subscribe to support this channel, to build it. As I mentioned in my last video, I do have another review or two. And I might start filming these in bunches just to try to get a couple ahead of time. We're all busy. You know, I have young daughters. I have a couple of granddaughters, and life is just busy. Life is time is fleeting. So I try to get in and do these as I have the time. And I always want to make good quality stuff for all of you. So I do appreciate you taking the time to watch. And until next time, we'll talk soon. Have a good one.